At GES, we produce around 2.5 to 3 million heads of iceberg crop per week. That is about 60% of the UK market. The primary challenge at GES is to deliver the agreed upon quantities of products on a weekly basis to the retailers, and doing that while minimizing the area planted and the inputs cost.
Our existing models, we knew were making some pretty big assumptions. They were driven just by temperature and light. Pretty successful, but we knew we were assuming every single thing else that was affecting our lettuce was assumed to be optimal. So the thread of this project was to how do we identify the key other parameters other than heat and light, see how they influence the crop, and how do we build them in to make an even better, more robust model.
The impact of this specific ATP is, I think it's going to be very big, because those tiny improvements that we were able to do on their system, they matter a lot when you're such a big producer. On one hand, it's the fact that no lettuces get lost. Everything gets harvested a bit better. It helps them planning. So fewer produce gets wasted, and specifically they're now looking into adapting the system for other crops that they also work with.
This project has enabled data science capability within the company and has also allowed to put in place these models that are working continuously and are generating useful outputs for the growers. With the data at hand, the growers, they can make interventions such as moving their schedule for fleece or protection of the crop. They can move the schedules for irrigation, and they can also decide whether to sow plants on a few more fields or not in order to manage that variability of how the crop moves back and forth the schedule.
I was part of the academic team of the project. I was the lead academic. The input that the KTPs gave me was a deeper understanding on the distance between the idealized setting you tend to kind of operate in as an academic. All the thoughts that you have, all the algorithms that you build are based on assumptions you had about the real world. And then when you work in a KTP, you actually see the deep messiness of reality. And when you contrast those two, change your assumptions about whether or not your algorithms are meaningful in the broader sense or meaningful only in an idealized sense.
For other businesses looking for funding, I would just recommend getting on with it. I think Essex know what to do. They know where the gaps are, maybe if you haven't got the experience of doing that in the past. And actually, when you get into it, it does need a little bit of time investment, but it isn't that complicated. You use your own business thinking. Essex fill in the remaining gaps, so I would definitely encourage others to do what we've done.